back to the channel. I'm back with another video. If you guys are new here, my name is Destiny. Welcome to Life with Destiny. Where I really do lifestyle vlogs, cooking, try on hauls, fashion, beauty, anything like that. So if you're interested in those type of videos, make sure you go ahead and click that subscribe button and join the family, join the channel as I'm continuing to grow. If you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to finally be telling you guys the story as to why me and my sister had to move out abruptly, or where we were staying, and then I guess where we are now, pretty much, because it is, what's today's date? It's June 17th and we moved in on the 7th. So we've been in our new place now for 10 days. The move was extremely smooth. I didn't record it or vlog it or do anything like that. I don't even think I'm gonna do a tour of the place. Obviously y'all will see it in the upcoming videos and vlogs and everything like that, but I don't think I'm gonna do a separate like tour of the place. Overall, I like the place a lot better compared to the last place. It's more spacious. And we didn't have we don't have a lot of the same issues that we had at our last place, which I'm going to get into a little bit later. By the way, I'm sorry I'm in my car. I'm not home right now. I'm actually in Charlotte, which I've been in Charlotte for a good minute now. I've been in Charlotte for about 3 weeks on and off, which y'all are going to understand why as I get into the story. Yeah, so I've been in Charlotte for a little while. Y'all know I live in Greensboro, but I've been in here doing business. Yeah, really that's what I've been doing in Charlotte, business, which hopefully y'all guys can find out more about that soon too, because I've been working with some people that I really enjoy. We've been doing some fun stuff, y'all. So I think I'm gonna do a separate video to talk to y'all about what I've been doing and stuff like that. Anyway, we're gonna get into the video and the story time. So I was living in Winston at the time. My sister was living somewhere completely different in Greensboro. As y'all know, she got pregnant and I think she just needed help. I kind of wanted to get out on my own, so we were like, okay, this is a good opportunity. So we found a great apartment somewhere in Greensboro. When I say great, okay, if y'all know what the market is now for apartments, the market right now for housing is crazy. Like, you could get this nothing and they're asking you for a pretty penny for it. Like, the market is really not just houses, apartments are just as crazy. So last year, because we got this June of 2020. Yeah, so we moved in June of 2020 of last year, and we got the apartment for such a good rate. Now, it was my understanding that we had got this apartment for this rate because it was an issue pretty much with the unit below where we were going to be staying. Like, we had it was like only like a two tier apartment, two something, however you describe it. It's only 2 tiers, and we had the top one. There was no one living under the bottom one because of whatever the situation happened with the bottom apartment. I think like the ceiling fell through, something crazy happened, and no one could no longer live into the bottom apartment, which I kind of liked because it's like we had our own area, like no one lived under us. So we couldn't really bother anybody, and with the baby, you know, him jumping everything, it would kind of be bad if we had a neighbor underneath us. Okay, but long story short, there was court issues or like court matters involving the apartments that was beneath us. Something with the wiring and things like that. It just caused, I don't know the real issue. This is just what I'm hearing. So we had been living there and we had little problems here and there, especially in the beginning. The beginning of moving, when we moved in, it was very bad. Like, we moved in June, y'all, and I don't think we had hot water for like the first 2 days that we moved in there. We didn't have hot water. Like, a lot of stuff was broken. We didn't have, like, we had 2 patios. One of the patio doors were shattered, never got a replacement. Like, this was starting off like the first month. These were all of the issues that my vein is massive right now. So we didn't have water, or like we had all these complications for like the first month. we eventually found ways to work around it and just get accustomed to it. Now, one consistent problem that we had the entire year that we were there, because we didn't move out, even though our lease wouldn't have been up until June, because I told you we moved in June of the previous year. We ended up having to leave on May 13th. We ended up having to leave on May 13th of 2021. So throughout that year, we consistently had an issue with our hot water, like consistently. Y'all know I live with me, my sister, and the baby. So like, I want to say once a month, once to twice every single month, our hot water was out. We were having to call maintenance to come turn our hot water on, and that's very annoying as a tenant. Like, that's extremely annoying. If I'm paying all my bills on time, you're getting my rent on time, I'm paying my hot water bill on time, then I expect for my hot water to be working. And if not working, I definitely don't expect the hot water to be out once or twice every single month. For me to have to call y'all, it's to the point, y'all, where maintenance had to teach me and my sister how to basically turn the hot water back on with our heater, because I guess the heater was like on our balcony in the storage room. We were calling them so much that they pretty much was telling us how to turn our hot water back on, but that's super annoying. The reasoning for our hot water being out was because when the wind blows, y'all, this is not like, I can't make these stories up. When the wind blows, wind gets into our hot water pipes and the hot water goes out. But y'all, we are talking about every single month for a year. It's not windy every single month. Like, we're in summer, it's not windy every single, like, for that to be the excuse. It just was making no sense. It was super frustrating. You go to take a shower, you be on a time crunch, and you have no hot water. And then when you do get it turned on, you have to wait 30 minutes to an hour for it to warm up. It's just very inconvenient. Especially, like I say, if I'm paying you y'all know I'm a stickler about my bills, my finances, money, things like that. I'm a stickler on that. You get your money early. I've never been late, never had any issues with me and my sister as tenants. Like, we're easy. So it was extremely frustrating to be in an apartment where you don't have hot water, amongst other things. But the hot water was just what was setting me off. I'm not even going to get into like the little tobaccos of what was going on with the apartment. So this one day in particular, y'all, it was, I guess, the end of April. No, when was this? Yeah, it was in April. I had no hot water was off. I had the baby. It was hot. It was April, like I said, in April going into May. It was super hot outside, and we didn't have any hot water, and it ticked me off. If y'all know me in comparison to my sister, I'm more straightforward, I'm more confrontational, and I use confrontational very loosely, because, like, not to say that I look for a confrontation, but I don't steer from one if I have to, like, handle something. Like, if this what has to happen, this is what has to happen. She's more like passive and will let things run on a little too long. So of course I'm gonna go handle this water situation, because this is ridiculous. So but I'm also a lot more hot-headed than she is, and it doesn't take much for me to take it there. I'm working on it, for sure. I'm working on it, but I just don't like, especially in a professional setting, me being your tenant and you knowing my hot water's off, you looking at me telling me you don't know what you can do about it. Yeah, I don't like that. So we're gonna get into that story. So this particular day, we didn't have water. Me and my sister had called maintenance. She had to go to work or something, so she ended up having to leave. We had called maintenance. They come turn our water on, and they leave. Now, I told y'all it takes, what they say, about 30 minutes, 45 minutes for the water to come on. So I'm sitting waiting for the water to come back on. I leave and come back, and I notice the water still is not hot. It's still not hot. This is after hours, so I'm pissed. I'm super pissed off, because, like, as a tenant, I don't even feel like this needs to be my issue. If I'm paying my bills on time, I don't like to worry about me not having hot water, and then, like, having to go through the hassle of waiting for it to come back on, that whole thing. So I come back and the water still isn't on. And it's after hours. The office is closed, things like that. But I don't care because my water's gonna come on regardless. So I go up to the office to talk to somebody in the office, hoping that I didn't even think anybody was gonna be in the office because I told y'all it's after hours. But I did not care. I was going up there to handle something because I was not going a full night and not having any hot water. It just wasn't gonna happen. So I go up there and something tells me to call my mother on the phone because I don't know. I go up there and I knock. Before I knock, I look through the little door to see if I can see anybody. So I see this lady in there. So I see her look at me and then like go about her business. That's the first thing that ticked me off. So I call my mom just to be like, all right, mom, like, I'm really trying to handle this the best way. But this lady just looked at me. She see me knocking and she not trying to answer the door. Like, am I going to keep knocking? Am I going to walk away? Like, what should I do? Mom said, keep knocking. You said go, I go. I'm going to keep knocking. So I kept knocking. And finally she comes to the door and she's like asking me the problem. Okay, y'all, I already have an attitude because one, my hot water is off. Y'all already came to fix it, but it's still off. So I'm pissed off. You didn't kind of piss me off now because I came up here to knock to let you know my situations and I saw you look at me and continue what you were doing. I don't really care that your office hours are closed. I don't have hot water, which is not my problem. So you need to make it your problem. This is what your job is. So I probably do have an attitude by the time she answers the door. So she answers the door and she's asking me like what my problem is. I'm like, I don't have hot water. You guys came to fix it, but it's still not fixed. Letting her know the situation. And I'm also letting her know that this is a continuing problem. I'm annoyed that I'm having to come up here every single month for you guys to for me to have hot water. Like that's a problem. She acts like me talking to her is a hassle. I'm inconveniencing her that my water is off every freaking month. So my mom is on the phone, y'all, this entire time. I'm getting super annoyed. So she pretty much lets me know, well, there's nothing that she can do tonight. Me to come back tomorrow and talk to the leasing manager, the office lady, whoever was the control. But she told me that she was the assistant leasing lady. Ma'am, I'm not going home with no hot water. I'm not coming back tomorrow to speak to anybody about any hot water. If you're the assistant leasing, like what does she know that you don't know? This is like what I'm in so many words what I'm saying to her. Very annoyed, y'all. Pissed at this point. So yeah, we're gonna figure this out right now. She's getting annoyed. I mean, there's nothing I can do about maintenance. Maintenance isn't gone there in Winston. I don't care about any of that, y'all. Like, this is what I'm telling her. I don't care about none of that. If you need to come out of your office and come fix it yourself, then that's what's gonna happen. Like, I don't understand the inconvenience for your tenant to be out of hot water and going into spring. I pay my bills on time and do any of that, and you're not trying to help me at all. So I'm pissed, y'all. So I guess as I'm talking to my mom, I'm telling her the situation. I'm like, Mom, she doesn't want to fix it. She's telling me that the maintenance lady, blah, 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 blah. So I guess as I'm talking to my mom, she says something. What did she say? Your attitude is bad. Something to that effect, she says. Y'all know me. I'm the type of person, I'm working on it, but I'm the type of person, I don't care who you are, what status you have, your gender, you talking to me, I'm gonna respond. So I say, I mean, I think you have a bad attitude. I think you're unprofessional. Like, who are you to sit here and say my attitude is bad because I have no hot water and you just don't know what to do about it, for me to come back and talk to somebody else the next day? I think your attitude is pretty bad. So I don't know how like this situation happened, but so many words. I closed the door in the middle of her talking, literally like, okay, goodbye. Close the door, go back to my car, because clearly you aren't trying to do anything. She like slings the door open. She's like, come in, blah, 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 blah. So I get out my car. You know, we have an exchange of words. It is what it is. I go about my merry way. Y'all will never believe what happens next. So next day, I go to work. And my sister calls me at work and she said, pretty much the office people came over to let us know that there had been a confrontation or argument between me and some lady at the leasing office. There was an argument. Y'all came to knock on my sister's door to let her know that me and the lady in the office had an argument. Okay. So pretty much, like I told y'all, my sister isn't great at handling things like that. So I call the people at work and I'm like, yeah, someone was just at my house talking to my sister. I'm just calling to figure out who I need to speak to, yada, 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 yada. She's like, pretty much, the leasing lady in so many words tells me, well, yeah, you breached our contract when you came up here and argued with our leasing lady. That's a breach of contract and we don't really tolerate that. And I'm just like, excuse me. So she's like talking about something. I'm gonna get my lawyer on the phone, basically like threatening like to put us out or this and that. And so I'm like, what the fuck? Like, are you fucking kidding me? You're gonna evict us because y'all don't have hot water or y'all's tubes aren't properly, like, that was a whole mess. So I'm really pissed off at this point, y'all. I'm really pissed off. I'm at work and I really can't handle the situation like I want to handle it. I called my dad. I'm getting his advice. I'm talking to my sister. I'm talking to my friends on like what we should do. Before this, y'all, we were going to renew our lease. They had sent us our lease renewal like a week prior to this. And we were like, let's just renew. Like, we just didn't feel like moving. My sister had that baby to pack him up and all that stuff up. It was a hassle. Like, we just like, we'll deal with it for one more year and be done. So we were in the process of renewing. I come home and it's a note on my door. I come home and it's a note on my door. And I already had to brace myself. I had to read it before I even like let my sister read it, because pretty much we were pretty much saying like we paid our lease all the way through. Like, before we had got this letter, me and my sister's plan was we paid this lease all the way through. We're not leaving. Like, I didn't breach a contract. First of all, in the contract it doesn't say anything about no confrontational argument. Like, this is some BS. I don't care. I also, y'all, have been like in a very stressful place, like dealing with my stress and my anxiety. So I try to stay clear of anything that stresses me out that's going to cause me anxiety. Keep that in mind. So when I come home to this note, and the note pretty much says we have to be out by May 13th. And that if we attempted to pay rent for those 2 months, that they would pretty much be rejected. So now, y'all, we got this letter like on May 1st. And you're telling us to be out by May 13th. The real me wanted to go back to the office. The real me wanted to go back to that office. But I was like, let me just come up with a plan. Like, that's the best thing you can do in a situation like that, is to come up with a plan so you're not stressed out. So me and my sister pretty much was like, for my sanity, yes, we could have stayed there and not got out on May 13th, because technically, even like with the COVID going on, people can't put you out of your place until June 30th was the cutoff day. You couldn't get evicted. You couldn't go anything like that. They were threatening to evict us or put an eviction on my credit, because they know I'm really big on like not having anything on my credit. They were threatening to put an eviction on my credit if I didn't get out by May 13th. And I was like, you can't put an eviction on my credit if you have my money. Like, I've paid. Like, the eviction because we got into an argument, like, that's not going to stand up. But y'all, I don't know all of this. I didn't have time to research it, to talk to lawyers, to do all of this and not be stressed out, dealing with anxiety and deal with that. So I'm like, best case scenario is for me just to find another apartment to live. Like, that's just the best case scenario. In the meantime, while this was happening, my mom was also in the process of moving to a 3-bedroom apartment herself. So me and my sister, we decided to leave or to find a new apartment, but we didn't want to settle either. Like, we didn't want to just, because we had 2 weeks, we didn't want to just go and get somewhere just because we had to be somewhere and it be smaller or it be not in the best area or anything like that. So we ended up finding somewhere that we really liked, getting approved all before May 13th, before we even had to be out. But the move-in date wasn't until June. So we had that dilemma of where are we going to be for about that 3-week period. Y'all guys, and you guys know the history with me and my mom's relationship. It's good sometimes, it's bad sometimes. We don't have the best understanding. So I was on the fence about, am I going to go stay with my mom for that 3-week period with my sister and the baby? Or am I gonna come to Charlotte with my dad, but being in Charlotte means I'm not working because my job is in Greensboro. So I was having that little pull with myself. And then my mom kind of seemed like she didn't want the burden of everyone to come into her house at one time. Me, my sister, the baby, my brother at the time, whole nother situation. So I'm not the type to want to be a burden on anyone. So I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, maybe I should just go to Charlotte. But my mom was like, no, Destiny, you need to work. You need to be here. You know, we'll just make it work. So that's what happened. We packed up all of our stuff. We were out by May 13th. I got a truck. I got a storage unit. I put all of our stuff in storage because it was only going to be for 3 weeks. We packed our bags and we moved into my mom's. Now, when I go into the story of like what happened during that 3-week period, I'm going to be a little vague because I think I want to do a whole another story time dedicated to just the relationship with my mom and where it's at, where I think it's going to go, and the dynamic of my family, where I'm at with that. Also, I think I want to do a whole separate video about that. But I do want to let y'all know what happened in that time frame in which I needed to have been staying there. So we started off staying there for about a week. In the first week, it was pretty good. The flow was great. We got along. We worked opposite schedules, so it wasn't like we were seeing each other a lot. Things took a turn when my brother came back to stay with her, who he felt like was his space and that everyone was in his space. A situation pretty much happened where I had to leave. I could no longer stay at her house. I really wasn't welcomed at her house. Yeah, so I was pretty much in a place where I had nowhere to go. I'm not gonna say I had nowhere to go because I can always come to Charlotte. I had nowhere to go in terms of, all right, y'all, I'm sorry, my camera turned off. My job is in Greensboro, but I don't have anywhere else or anybody else to stay with in Greensboro. So I was pretty much in a situation where I had to pack up and come home to Charlotte. That was my only option at that point. So I spent the remainder of my time not in my own place, being in Charlotte with my dad, driving every day to work, which is in Greensboro, and coming back, which was a pain in my ass. It was extremely what's the word? It was extremely not inconsiderate. It was just a hassle for me to do that drive every day. I was left no option. So I spent the last 2 weeks of the 3 weeks in Winston not seeing the baby. Y'all, I didn't see the baby for 2 weeks. Y'all know I was dying. It's just like was such a unfortunate situation. Like, wasn't even planning on renewing my lease. Then I pretty much got put out under circumstances that I feel like was BS. I feel like they had no stance on what they were doing, and I feel like they saw 2 young looking people and thought that they could take advantage of it, and thought that they could take advantage of us. And I guess in some ways they did, but I feel like I just took that rather than like stress myself out and fight, because we can go to court and we can fight, and I can sue you for all this money that you're making me pay, though you told me not to pay it. They made me pay it back. Like, after we were out, y'all, they made us pay for those months that we're in there, though the letter said not to pay. Just a lot of little stuff like that. It was just like, I'm sure I could fight you on this, and I'm sure I could get my money, but it's just like my sanity and my stress wasn't even worth it. Wasn't even worth it. So I'm putting against the wall where I'm having to find somewhere to stay in 2 weeks. Then I think that I have somewhere to stay, i.e. my mom's house. That didn't pan out all the way. So then I'm left to a situation, okay, now I'm having to find myself somewhere to stay, still make it to work. And it's like, people, no help, y'all. The whole 3 weeks taught me a huge lesson in terms of like, who got you when you need him to, or what to do in terms of situations like that. That's why I want to dedicate a whole separate video to, I want to create a whole separate video to that whole relationship with my mom, and what happened and where it's going, and why I feel like we're on this path, why we'll probably be on this path indefinitely. What I'm going to try to do, you just kind of have to accept relationships for what they are, accept situations for what they are. Don't let situations or people get you out of character. And I feel like I probably did that in a lot of situations within this situation. I fell short myself, which we always can look back and see where we fell short on our own stance and how to be better going forward. But yeah, y'all, that's why we ended up having to move out abruptly, where we were, where I was, why I haven't been with the baby within that 3-week period. But I will be back vlogging with him. I'll be back vlogging period, but with him as well, because with me, y'all, we have to talk. You have to talk. Stay tuned to these next couple vlogs so y'all can know what's been going on in terms of like me having a job, me not having a job, what I'm doing for work, what I'm doing like on my day-to-day basis since I don't have a 9-to-5 anymore, everything like that. Stay tuned for these next couple of vlogs, because I guess I'll just be telling y'all okay, y'all, I'm sorry. Yes, tune in to my vlogs, because I'm really about to go crazy with my vlogs, y'all. I have nothing but time, nothing but ideas, and nothing but better people who have been in my corner. I have recently been surrounded by great people who have been in my corner, and it has really enticed me to keep going with this. So yeah. Okay, y'all, it died once again. I had ran out of space, had to change my memory cards, but that was pretty much all for this video. Like I said, stay tuned for my vlogs, because yeah, I've been way more like I'm getting way, we're going up. That's all I'm gonna say. We're going up with this. So make sure you subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up if you like my story times. I know I talk a little fast. I'm working on that. But if you like story time videos from me, give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you leave me a comment down below with suggestions of video ideas that y'all want to see. I'm gonna be filming like my morning and night routine coming up, because it's pretty much a consistent routine with me, having a consistent routine with myself. Yeah, and I know y'all want to see a lot more vlogs with the baby, which will be coming, as well as like food planning and food prepping, cooking content as well, because I cook a lot, grocery shop a lot, and meal prep with my sister and the baby, or for us pretty much. So I'm going to be doing more of that on this channel. So make sure you subscribe if you like videos like that, y'all. But I'll be back very soon with y'all and talk to y'all very soon. Yo, bye guys.